Now on Denver 7 News at 4, the future of medicine is being developed right here in Denver. The high-tech capsules that could someday deliver your prescription drugs.
So many people depend on wheelchairs that can take weeks, even months to get fixed. We're looking at the new way to speed up that process and what it will take to hold companies accountable. Gas prices have dropped a bit, but they're still high. And the question is, should your employer cover your costs to get to work? One major city will soon require it, and we're looking at if more will get on board.
But first, the nation's top law enforcement official breaks his silence about the search of former President Trump's estate.
I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Micah Smith. Those words you just heard coming from Attorney General Merrick Garland just a few hours ago. It's the first time the Department of Justice has spoken out about the search warrant executed on former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
New details into the FBI's raid of Donald Trump's Florida home, Mar-a-Lago. Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC that in the spring, the former president received a subpoena for documents related to what he is believed to have taken from the White House and failed to turn over to federal investigators. It's not clear whether Trump provided any documents in response to the subpoena. Following the subpoena, federal officials visited with Trump in June, and prior to that, the National Archives retrieved 15 boxes, some of them classified, that Trump had previously taken. Republicans have been demanding FBI Director Christopher Wray or Attorney General Merrick Garland explain why they raided a former president's home. The Department of Justice has a long-standing policy of not discussing an ongoing investigation, but this afternoon, Garland broke his silence.
The Justice Department has filed a motion in the Southern District of Florida to unseal a search warrant and property receipt relating to a court-approved search that the FBI conducted earlier this week. I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter.
Since the raid, there have been calls for a civil war, threats of violence against the FBI, and even unfounded accusations that some agents may have behaved improperly.
I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked.
Now, Trump and other Republicans are capitalizing financially on the situation, fundraising off the raid and Trump's other legal troubles, calling them a never-ending witch hunt. Those include a criminal investigation in Georgia of Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the state's election results. And on Wednesday, Trump sat for a civil deposition with New York Attorney General Letitia James, who is investigating whether the Trump family business misrepresented the values of certain properties to pay less in taxes. Garland says he's requesting the court unseal the warrant and list of items they removed because the former president and his lawyers publicly confirmed the search and because of the significant public interest in the matter. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
We're also getting new details into just how well Colorado's economy is doing, especially when compared to the other states in the union. CU Boulder's Leeds School of Business compiled this second quarter report. Our state added 104,000 jobs in 2022 so far. Our labor participation was the second highest in the nation. Colorado also ranks above average in the other key performance indicators like GDP, income, and home price growth. But experts warn there are risks already impacting our nation's economy that could impact us locally, like inflation rates, labor, and trade.
Unemployment claims rose last week to the highest level since November, according to new data out today from the Labor Department. The 4-week average also went up, which typically levels out weekly ups and downs, but those numbers don't tell the whole story. Economists say the job market is still considered strong, with a 50-year record low unemployment rate last month. Wholesale inflation is starting to slow down. That's the price that stores pay for products before we buy them. Now, it grew at a slower pace of 9.8% in July. You compare that to June, which was an 11.3% increase from last year. On a monthly basis, wholesale inflation did drop slightly from June to July, the first monthly decline since April of 2020. Now, grocery store prices are higher today than they were a year ago, meaning you have to get creative to make sure you can stretch what you have.
I feel like I'm making a difference not only for my family, but for the people around me.
This is one way people are getting creative with an app that is called Farmish. People with backyard gardens, small farms, they're on it selling everything from eggs to produce. This app connects people, then you can talk prices off of the app.
I raise chickens and I have these other things, the bees and everything, but I also am a herd share owner from a local dairy a few miles away, and I buy beef from a farm in Coopersville.
I had an actual problem, which is that I couldn't spend all day sending texts trying to get rid of a few cinnamon rolls, right? I might have like 4 extra cinnamon rolls, or I might have 8 extra chocolate chip cookies.
Now, if you're someone who loves to bake at home, the Baking Notification Project shares and sells food with people who live nearby. Now, if you don't bake, and maybe you also don't have a green thumb, you can check out what's called Olio, which is an app for people to share food and goods with others, extras that they may have. Too Good To Go is a service where you can buy excess food from restaurants and grocery stores at a major discount. And then there's one more for you called Food Rescue US, which lets you donate, deliver, and find others to share food with. Store-bought baby foods aren't the only way that babies could be exposed to toxic metals. There's new research from the group Healthy Babies, Bright Futures, which tested homemade baby food made from produce purchased from stores and farmers markets across the country, and they found concerning levels of lead, arsenic, and mercury. Pediatricians say the best thing parents can do is spread out different foods in a baby's diet to lower toxicity levels. Now, parents and caregivers could have new protections when it comes to breast milk at the airport. Lawmakers want to require TSA to regularly update and clarify to workers guidance on handling breast milk and baby formula at the airport. A viral post from a mom showed TSA nearly confiscating her ice packs, which she needed to keep her breast milk from going bad on her flight. Climate change is increasing the cost of the federal crop insurance that farmers rely on, but all of us are paying for it.
We are asking an investment from taxpayers to have a more stable farm economy and a more stable food system.
The role that some say more farmers should be playing in keeping costs down.
And the Broncos' first preseason game is just over 48 hours away. But first, it's time for a little scrimmage. We've got team coverage from training camp coming up after the break.